What's up, everybody? Back with another Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 3 mods. That is a big name, not gonna lie. We're doing Ultra Instinct Migate no Goku, Migate no Goku and Ultra Instinct Goku, I guess. But versus Spider-Man. This is the Tom Holland Spider-Man. I don't know how the model will look like, but I really hope this model looks good because personally, I like simple things. If you know, like design wise, a character should be simple. I like complicated designs too, with like neat little details. But I like, how can I say this? Let's just see the model. Yeah, like I like these type of details, but I also like simple stuff. Yeah, this model is good. Oh wait, this is kind of mixed with the old Spider-Man, but yeah, this model is good. The only thing I would say, it's a bit detailed. I really like the simplicity sometimes. So it's like you look at UI right now, this model looks amazing, damaged and all. But something like Spider-Man, I'm like a fan of simplicity. Now, when it comes to Spider-Man, I feel like Spider-Man is a very underrated character in terms of strength. I don't think, I mean, again, Marvel Comics, DC Comics, different alternate timelines. But when it comes to Spider-Man, he has actually traveled to timelines. And there is Spider-Man No Way Home. A lot of people say it's confirmed. A lot of people are still theorizing that the old Spider-Man will come in the No Way Home, which, to be honest, I feel like is not far-fetched, because when it comes to TV media, Spider-Man is the only one we have seen travel to different dimensions, alternate timelines. So oh, that's a pretty cool move. So I don't think it's far-fetched to think about it, right? We know there's a Spider-Man Noir. We know Spider-Man 2099. There is the anime girl Spider-Man. There's Spider-Gwen. There's Miles Morales. Like, there are different Spider-Mans out there. Spider-Men out there. Yeah. So the fact that there are alternate timelines when it comes to the world of Marvel, and Spider-Man has went there, it's like it's possible we can get them from a movie. But as much as oh, nice, that was pretty awesome. As much as it is hype, I want that in the future, because okay, recently I have become a that was good. He just grabbed him. That's like the AI. Like that was clever. I want to see Miles Morales in live action. When it comes to Miles Morales, I'm not. I feel like it's because I've recently like invested a lot into Miles Morales, so I'm saying that. But because you see something for the first time and you really enjoy it, you're starting to say, "Oh, it's the best thing in the world." So right now I'm like, Miles Morales is better than Peter Parker. I have to like think about it first. I'm not unsure who I like better, but it's just, here's the thing. I don't want to talk. I don't want to say Peter. I don't relate too much, but when it comes to Miles as a character, I feel like, I don't know if many people can, but as a character, I relate more to Miles Morales than Peter Parker, I should say. Here's the thing. Both are like science geniuses stuff, like, right? But when it comes to like Peter, you look at him doing all this stuff, like he's more so a nerd. I don't want to hate on Peter Parker, but he looks like a nerd at times, a lot of times. When it comes to Miles, he's a genius, and you can make the argument, yeah, he's a nerd. But at the same time, I look at him as a geek, and I'm kind of like a geek. I'm not that good in science, but the way like Miles Morales talks, the way he acts, I feel like that feels more real to me. I know there are people who like act like Peter Parker all the time, and they do it without knowing that they're acting like Peter Parker. But it's just, I feel like I relate with Miles more. I think it sounds stupid, but like that's why I feel like I like Miles as a character more. It's one of those things I have to say, that because you look at Peter, like his grandfather died, his reaction, he remembered his last words and started doing good, like, which is understandable. Like, that is, I think, the most realistic thing in Spider-Man. Like, oh, if you get powers, what will you do? A lot of people say, well, I'll save people, but at the end of the day, you also can get corrupt. You can use it to earn some, digits, some cash. Now, when it comes to this debate, I don't want to be part of any of the Marvel and DC debate anymore. I mean, I'd still say this, that live action, weak characters, but they're different Ultimate timelines. But I will say this, Spider-Man is very underrated. A lot of people underrate his strength. He is a freaking tank. He's like damage reduction 80%. I feel like if Goku fights Spider-Man, he can probably take his hits. Because of the fact that Spider-Man is pretty powerful when it comes to... He can tank. Yeah, controller. Yeah, this happens when I do CPU versus CPU. But when it comes to Spider-Man, like, he can tank hits, in my opinion. It's just what kind of hit it is. But he can pretty much tank a lot of hits, in my opinion, when it comes to Spider-Man. And he's... When it comes to him being a nerd, I said... let's just rephrase that in terms of battle. He's a fighting genius. And I feel like I know this sometimes, that Spider-Man talks a lot to mentally play with his opponents. I don't know if he does that to keep himself a new personality, because a lot of people do that. They give themselves new personality. Even you look at YouTubers, like, in real life they're very different, but in their YouTube life they're very different. Like, they give them this new personality. So when sometimes you meet them, you don't even recognize them. You're like, oh wait, you're my favorite YouTuber, but at the same time I don't get that vibe from you. But I feel like he creates that persona, but you gotta look like he's a black aura. Why? But that's why I really like Spider-Man. I feel like he's one of the most... I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, he's pretty famous. He's like one of the first superheroes in TV medium. True, but I feel like he's still very underrated. I feel like the problem, I look into it... So when you're a kid, you used to watch Spider-Man, right? But a lot of people outgrow superheroes or action figures, toys, dolls, stuff like that. Like, they outgrew some of the things they did as a child. That happens. Now, when it comes to the current era, 2021, and recently when the live action thing started, you gotta realize that Spider-Man had a pretty... Like, there was a time I did not like Spider-Man. The whole Amazing Spider-Man. I know a lot of people are gonna say, well, they are still good. They're still fun to watch. But I was never a fan of them. Like, first movie was a recreation, which I felt like it was too early for a recreation, even though the original Spider-Man was really old. I feel like recreating... I mean, it wasn't complete recreation. It was like this, like his, uncle died and everything. I think it was because a lot of new fans come, so that's why they have to do it. But when I looked at it, I was like, man, I've seen this a lot. Like, can't we get something else? You know what I mean? But later on, when Tom Holland joined, like, Civil War was when I started loving Spider-Man. Homecoming, Far From Home, Infinity War. Yeah, first comes Infinity War. Endgame. Oh, Goku, you just ended him that quickly this time. But I feel like when it comes to Spider-Man now, he's like one of my favorite characters. Not just superheroes, one of my favorite characters. And I feel like he's pretty underrated because a lot of people who joined superhero movies through live action rather than animated series and comic books, and they started loving Marvel, was because of Captain America and Iron Man. My man, Spider-Man is OG. A lot of people don't know that. Like, they do know that, but they haven't experienced the OG. And you look at it, like, if you look at the Marvel Live Cinematic OG, the main characters are basically Captain America, Thor, Hulk, Iron Man. These are the main characters. They got the first big movies. Then you get on, like, come to the Avengers, it's like Quicksilver, Vision, Wanda, Scarlet Witch, Hawkeye. Then you go to the third characters, then you get Spider-Man. Like, you see what I mean? Like, Spider-Man has more importance, I feel like, than Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch, even Wanda and Vision. But again, he came late, so his impact was less than many of the other characters that's already came. You look at DC, they just, like, this DC had this problem. They just was force feeding us Superman and Batman. Yeah, I love those characters, but give me more characters. They're doing it now, but you look at it, A lot of people, like, it was so weird. Some people were like, yeah, why isn't Batman and Superman and Avengers? It's like, yeah, because it's DC. A lot of people did not understand DC because they only showed two characters. Batman versus Superman came along, they showed only a third character. So it's like I have a rant to do here. I'm not gonna. But new Spider-Man No Way Home, I'm pretty excited about it. Spider-Man is an underrated hero. I will not tolerate any hate or disregard for him. I love him as a character, and I feel like Spider-Man should get more love. He is getting more love. But I feel like him as a character, we should get more. And we should get a lot of the other dimensions as well of Spider-Man. Like 2099, Noir, Spider-Gwen, Miles Morales, everything in the live action. Because a lot of people tend to not watch the animated movies, which is sad because they're amazing, but it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe, click on notification bell, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.